Family, I had to talk with Deitrick Haddon. I just wanted to call him and just see what he's feeling about the Preachers of LA. Is the show getting the response that they intended? I also had to ask him if he felt that a lot of episode 1 was kind of convoluted by the Bentleys and the bling bling. Does he feel that we missed the actual messages that were being presented? Also, I had to find out how he felt about what Bishop Jakes had to say about the Preachers of LA. So here we go. My exclusive interview with Deitrick Haddon. Deitrick Haddon, my brother. Listen, after the airing of Preachers of LA last week, do you feel like you all got the response that you intended to get from the public?
Absolutely, we got the response we expected. I mean, you don't do something so aggressive and so unconventional and bold and don't expect any negative, feedback from it because it's something that has never been done before. Mm-hmm. For the kingdom or preachers to use a reality platform to spread the gospel, Mm-hmm. So it's so we calculated the stir,
Yeah.
But we all felt that it was, at the end of the day, it was a necessary risk, and we all felt compelled in our own ways to share our lives with the world on platform. So I think the response is fantastic, especially for the first episode. 1.1 million viewers. I think It was a total of almost 3 million viewers if you add up the on demand and all of that stuff. So,
and I tell you what, and they said that it was one of the highest rating debuts that the Oxygen Network has ever seen.
Well, and that's a blessing. So that's awesome. And hopefully we can get more faith-based, good, clean television on mainstream. See, we talk about what's on TV and all this mess on TV, but we don't produce anything to counter those things. This is an opportunity for us to produce more shows and do, and really get out there and stop talking about it and just be about it. We got a lot of mess on TV. Here is 1 hour on television where you can get good, clean television. It may be challenging to religious people and people that may be challenging. But it's definitely going to catch the attention of people that need to see it, and by the end of the season, they're going to get it.
Personally, I feel like from the first episode, there's been all kinds of dialogue, which I feel like is important. But I also feel like some of the great parts of that episode was convoluted by the Bentleys and the bling bling. Now, what particular part of the first episode do you feel that the public may have missed, being distracted by the success of the pastors?
I don't think the public has missed anything. They've seen it all, And what some people may have missed was maybe the message of hope, humanity, and redemption. I mean, at the beginning of each episode, there was a preach word by every man. You see these guys doing their job, preaching in their platforms and doing what they're called to do. And we're very deliberate about sharing our testimonies, our failures, and how we've been able to overcome through Jesus Christ. At the beginning of that first episode, the story of how I made a mistake, and it was a real bad mistake. But through the grace of God and the mercy of God, I repented of my sin and was able to stand up again. You don't think that connected with somebody out there?
No,
There's thousands of people that got that. Ron Gibson and Jay Hazler, these men could have died in their drug situation. They could have died on the street, but God saved them, restored them, made them men of God. Now they're fishers of men. That connected with a lot of people. So people, they get it. I just think that sometimes the negativity can drown out the positive. It's amazing how you can do a million things right, but people focus on one thing that's wrong. I actually personally don't see a problem with anybody driving a Bentley as long as they're doing the work that God has called them to do. I think a man deserves whatever he works hard for. And I also think that a man should not be judged by what he drives, what he wears, and where he lives. As long as they're doing what God has called them to do, you need to take your hands off that. You leave that alone.
I just totally agree, and that's something that I've been talking about. Sometimes, we got to get past that, though. The reality is that there are some manipulative pastors out there. There are, and we understand that, but that's not everybody, number one. Number two, if you work hard, I don't care what you do. You deserve some things, and these pastors have been in ministry for 20 and 30 years, for years.
Right.
And
again, darling, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think people really don't have the problem with the Bentley. I think they have a problem thinking that these guys are throwing this in people's face, and honestly, they're not. I mean, these guys are not arrogant, just showing off their stuff. I mean, Oxygen definitely had to use that as bait to even get people to watch, because honestly, I don't think people are interested in just preachers on a docuseries unless there's some kind of catch to it.
Absolutely.
and it got people talking. The good thing about it has people talking in beauty salons, barber shops, people that would never, hadn't talked about God in a long time are talking about God. And the testimonies are rolling in. I can give you many testimonies of people that are connecting. I went to church Sunday, and a lady came to me and said, my father is 80 years old. He hadn't been to church in years. He watched that show and said, I like that Deitrick Haddon. Why don't you take me to church on Sunday?
Isn't that something?
And so then there's a young lady who I'm getting all these testimonies rolling in saying that your relationship with your wife is making me desire a relationship with God. It's making me and my boyfriend desire a relationship with God. So I think we have to be careful, about the method and being upset at the method. As long as the results are coming in, don't worry about the method. Don't focus on that.
That's right. That's right. And let me say this too. Now, that's a huge difference, Deitrick, in communicating with a church audience and a congregation, and then effectively communicating that same message of the gospel with a diverse television audience from different cultures, people that don't understand the blessings of Abraham, people that don't understand our language. Let me ask you, do you feel that the pastors of the Preachers of LA are ready to communicate the message of the gospel of Christ and their stories in their lives in a way that this new audience is able to understand them?
We're locked and loaded, ready to go. It's already connecting with the culture. People all over, black, white, people from different cultures, different beliefs, are zooming and focusing in on this show. And I think the common ground that we all have, that we're finding out, is that we all connect to truth. I think it's the transparency that allows us to get this message to any culture, any everybody. It's transparency. So I think recognize real.
That's right.
And regardless if you like Brian Gibson, you cannot deny that this brother is who he is. You can't deny that these people are who they are. And keep in mind that they don't have to share their lives with anybody. They couldn't pay us enough money to do this. This is something that we all feel compelled to do, and it's connecting because the proof is in the pudding, right?
That's right.
It's in the results.
That's right.
People are watching. People are talking. I've never in my entire music career has been on so many platforms, mainstream platforms, in my entire music career. I've been on secular networks talking to people, having dialogue with people who don't necessarily believe what I believe. They don't believe in Jesus.
Yeah, but they respect you enough to have you on the show to talk about
because of my transparency.
That's good stuff, Deitrick, and I thank God for it. But let me ask you this now: did you see the feedback that Bishop Jakes had to say about the show?
Absolutely.
And what do you think about his reaction?
I want to be careful about what I say because I don't want the headline news to be tomorrow morning, Deitrick versus Bishop Jakes.
Right, I understand.
They love to take my words and twist it, but let me say this. Let me just be authentic as possible. I have the absolute utmost respect for Bishop T.D. Jakes and what he represents. I consider him one of our generals in this generation, and I was a bit taken back and shocked when I seen his stance on, his view on the show, being that he's a forefather in unorthodox, unconventional methods of spreading the gospel, whether it be through Megafest and partnering with comedians or Oprah or partnering with whoever he needs to partner with to reach the unchurched or spread the gospel or win souls, whether it be through films, whatever. This guy has done it all,
right. And
so I was just taken back. I was surprised, when I saw his the conclusion that he came to about it, and I was just hoping that somebody actually sat him down and let him see the show. But be that as it may, you won't get a fight out of me when it comes to Bishop Jakes because I respect him so much. I love his ministry, love what he's done. I've preached at Megafest in the couple of years in the Genesis of Megafest. So, I'm not going to get in a fight with Bishop Jakes because Bishop Jakes and everybody else is entitled to their opinion.
Good stuff.
But let me say this. Your opinions, be careful about saying this, do not change facts. Your opinion Do not change the facts. You can have your opinion all day long, but if the results are coming in, that's all that matters.
All
That's
right.
all I can say.
All right. All right, brother. Very well said. Very well said. Deitrick,